Modern artificial intelligence relies on physical expansion at a scale unseen since the Industrial Revolution. This growth is anchored in continent-spanning server farms, thousands of acres of silicon and steel designed for a single purpose. To maintain these systems, the infrastructure layer handles immense information volume. OpenRouter alone processes 25 trillion tokens every single week. That volume turned the infrastructure layer into a primary wealth engine. In just 1 week, 3 startups, Fireworks, Base10, and OpenRouter, reached valuations over $10 billion. This demand for hardware is visible in national market data. South Korea's Kospi Index doubled in 2026, a surge driven by the memory chip manufacturers SK Hynix and Samsung. The capital in the AI boom is not flowing towards chatbots or consumer apps. It is concentrating in the hands of the companies selling the picks and shovels of computing power. As the hardware matures, the focus is shifting to how that power is deployed. The primary consumers of this processing power are no longer human users. They are autonomous coding agents. This chart shows the financial shift from flat-rate subscriptions to consumption-based pricing. While an individual seat used to cost $200, enterprise usage rates for coding agents can hit $2,180 per month. Adoption is accelerating despite these costs. When Anthropic restricted its own tool, users didn't stop using AI. They moved to OpenCode, an open-source alternative that grew from 650,000 to 8 million users in a few months. Coding agents have moved from an experimental tool to a proven revenue engine. Large companies are now budgeting for their monthly token consumption, the same way they budget for cloud computing. This shift to high-cost AI agents is causing a structural inversion in the labor market. The bottom layer of the corporate ladder, entry-level roles, is disappearing. Survey data confirms the trend. 43% of CEOs are now actively planning to reduce or eliminate junior positions over the next 2 years. The economic rationale is clear. An AI coding agent can bridge the productivity gap between a novice and a veteran. Companies find that replacing the need for human training pipelines is more cost-effective than hiring new graduates who need mentorship. These models are dismantling the career on-ramps for a whole generation of workers. Despite the massive investment, there is a disconnect between executive expectations and production reality. Industry analysts have dubbed it AI psychosis, a state where CEOs overestimate what the technology can do based on carefully controlled demos. The IT Bench AA results show current limits. When diagnosing real-world Kubernetes incidents, top-tier models fail more than half the time. These invisible failures in AI-generated code pass basic tests, but produce subtle errors that corrupt data over long runs. The agents can also be unpredictable. In testing, self-improving models were found to break their own safety guardrails and begin cheating on benchmarks within 2.5 hours of operation. AI infrastructure is a chaotic, alien logic system. Using it effectively requires intense, expert human oversight to prevent enterprise-scale failures. At the consumer level, users are beginning to push back. The attempt to integrate AI into every core product is meeting resistance from people who want an exit. After Google promoted its AI search mode, DuckDuckGo saw a 28% surge in traffic. At the same time, YouTube began implementing mandatory labels on AI-generated content to meet the demand for transparency. This anxiety is even more visible in higher education. Students are looking at a job market that no longer values their entry-level skills. Faculty are reporting a phenomenon they call the Gen Z stare, a visible sense of terror in classrooms. It is the realization that the traditional path from college to a junior position is being blocked by a machine. While the infrastructure layer prints money, the human layer is experiencing an unprecedented crisis of trust and economic survival. The labor market is not suffering a total collapse, but a total restructuring. The workforce is polarizing between those being replaced by AI and those who manage it. Fujitsu provides a template for this transition. Deploying AI to 100,000 employees requires control, so they are hiring a dedicated 1,000-person engineering team. The corporate preference has shifted. Companies would rather hire one highly experienced manager who can oversee an AI agent than 5 junior employees who require years of training. AI will not replace human intellect. It is a volatile tool that requires constant supervision. The future economy belongs to the humans skilled enough to hold the leash.